Coming in for check day 2 on the little micro line, but that's graduating today. I'm putting in some more sets, dragging in some muskrat sets. Hopefully we've got a catch today. Cold front moved in last night. I think it was 25 degrees and stayed calm most of the night, but the wind's starting to pick up now, so hopefully with the cold front moving in, critters was moving just prior to it getting here. But I'll get on over to the creek, start checking the sets. Just kind of rapid fire going down through the sets. No catch, just keep moving. This one has nothing. Get on down to the next one. Nope, nothing on this one. I can still see the fish down there. But all these slides right through here hadn't been freshened up lately. But hopefully that will hit when they come through. I'm coming in just checking on the dirt holes and make sure they're still working. And I got a new lure from one of our Mississippi Trapper Association and friends of the channel, a Danny Phillips, and I'm using the H1. It is some loud stuff. Put a few drops down around the edge of that dirt hole to get some attention. But I know I did just let our house cats smell the bottle and they was rubbing all over it. Hopefully it'll be some good stuff. But I'll move down. Well, I've added a few drops of the H1 around the backing on the dirt hole, and it is some potent stuff. Yeah, and you don't wash it off either. I'm gonna keep moving. Nope, nothing on that fish set, so keep moving. Nothing on that snare, but I'll keep them moving. I didn't have a miss on a snare, but I had something come through it. Right here on the bottom of the snare, hopefully you can see it. There's hair right here on the snare. And don't know what it is. Something went through it, but I can tell how the sand was disturbed. I'm going to lower that snare a little bit more on that trail and let it keep hunting. But something went through it without getting caught. It's got hair on the loop. There's the oversized dirt hole, and I have had, it's like a red fox, come through and didn't do no good. But I'll put a few drops of this H1 on the back of it to get their attention. But come through both directions. It's like a pretty good sized red fox. But I'll get that done. I had worked my butt off trying to catch this big buck mink, and I do believe I just screwed up my one good opportunity to get it. This was that set that I put in that seldom fails, was telling me about shaving the bank. And all the critters would come right up through here on the tightest point. But I did have my mink. That's all I've got left. I don't want something eating it or what, because that's not a ring off. But I had a mink. That's all I've got. I don't know whether a hawk come got it, otter come got it, or that's just not a ring off. That was a good pad catch on the mink, and don't know. I hate that, but I will get this set remade. I've got other mink tracks using this bank. Terrible. Well, my fish sets down on the 330s have had no action. The two rubber crawfish up under the, overhanging bank had no action. The one trap I had some action, and I lost the mink. Yeah, my chances of getting a hold of him again is going to be slim and none. But I do have some attention paid up here on one of the dirt holes from a red fox, and I've adjusted the camera to hopefully get a picture of it when it comes back through. Put some of the H1 lure that was in exchange for some of our caster lure. We did a swap the other day on a meetup, so now I'm just gonna go down through here and check the sets on this side of the bank, see if I've had any attention give to them. And yeah, I'm bummed out, lost the mink. I have put in some hours trying to catch this thing. Here's the bottom edge on the fish set. I mean, the tail's even sitting here waving back and forth. Right where everything's got to come around that bush. So an otter come by there, sees that, he's gonna have to grab it. But we'll keep moving. I did bring in a bunch of sets to set for the muskrats, so when I get up there to that, I'll have to get out and wait around, put in the sets. But I brought in, I think, 6 sets for that. I'm hanging another snare loop right here, and the right there I have a crawl out. You can see there's fairly well slid, whether it was an otter or a beaver, but I'm hanging a snare right there. They had asked me about the swivel setups that I was using. Well, I took a center locator for base plating a regular trap, so I've added that swivel going to the snare swivel itself, so it's multiple swivels. And run into that 1/8 cable, and the old boy, I believe he was Ozark Trapper, said something about the 3/8 rods would be allowed to swivel. And I have taken that 3/8 rod and shoved it down in there to where that number 9 wire is down below ground too, so it won't swivel any. So it's solid. It made it a whole lot more solid. But with that trail looking like that, I'm putting that snare in right there. Maybe it'll work. We'll move down and check some more sets. When I'm coming in with some 120s and 110s to put in these muskrat runs. We'll have to get out and wait around in this soupy sand to get these put in, but I can't get the boat anywhere close to them. But I'll get that done, and we'll take a look at each set as I get it done. There's a 120 sitting right there in that run. What I have done is I didn't have all the stuff I wanted, and instead of lath strips, I wound up with some of these 5-gallon paint bucket stir sticks. So that muskrat comes up that run, dives under there like he's usually doing, he's gonna hit that 120 right there. I'm gonna repeat this process on every muskrat run down through there. Hopefully it'll work. Looks like the muskrats that are using this run were at one time taking a lift, but all this grass right here's got silt on it. I don't think it's fresh, but you can see where the muskrats are coming across here, going over there to that area. So decisions. I can definitely see the tracks on the bottom, where instead of going up here anymore, they're going over there. I'll go over there and poke around with a stick, see if I can find the run. I say, you can see the run. Up next to the bank, I couldn't find the hole. They ain't using this like this without a reason. So I have put in another 120 right there. I drug my foot through the run to make it a little deeper. I'm just gonna put conibears in every run. Once I made it muddy, I couldn't find the hole. I'm gonna have a run and a little conibear in every run. I'll sit down a minute and I'll take care of the rest of them. Finding another use for these fiberglass poles I was using for snare supports. I'm using them for muskrat, for staking off my muskrat traps. Using that number 9 wire. Going to quick connect in the ring that it came with. Make sure all your traps are tagged, and I'm going to be setting another 120 in just this next run over from where I just set that one. I had to sit down a minute. The spine injuries don't let me walk too far, but I can paddle a canoe all day. So I am going to put a conibear in every run, because if you've ever seen how a muskrat flies out of a run, they hit it fast because they want to get out in open water away from predators next to the bank. I did manage to set that one right at the mouth of the hole, and if I can find these down through there, that's what I'm going to do. If I can't, I'll just put them in the run, because I know once they come out of that hole, they're going to be doing all they can do to get out to open water before they come up. But I'll get that done and take a look at it in a minute. Getting this one set in the middle of the run. I wasn't real happy with the way they turned out, but I know how muskrats hit runs. I've seen them shoot out and you can barely see them, they're so fast. I'm gonna move down, keep hitting them as I go. I feel pretty good about this one. This one's down in the run, completely submerged, and I think I see the hole for this next one. I'm going to check and see if that's what that is. And right there. We'll see in a minute. This is what I found out. I was going to use them another way, but the 5-gallon stir sticks that you can get at Walmart for the paint mixing fit the spring eyes of a Duke 110, and that is pretty solid. It don't twist, don't wiggle. They're cheap. You can get you a fistful of these paint stir sticks, and man, that fit the 110 perfect. So I'm going to set this in this next run I see over there. There's a good look at that run and how I got it set up. You can see the chocolate water where I've been walking. You can see the base of that run runs right through there, and they're going to hit that 120. I see they're locking through again. Barges come by and it's pulled the water down, allowing me to see all this just crystal clear. You can see from the water receded on the mud on the, you can tell how much it's down right now. Once they lock through, it's going to come back up in the creek again, and we'll put another hopefully 4 to 6 inches of water over these sets. But we'll find out. I'm gonna run up here and set this one. I can see this run Runs right through there, and I can see a cloudy spot right next to the reeds where they're going into the bank. I'm gonna set that 110 right there. Got that 110 set right there. Well, they're coming out. Yep, right under that bank right there. Coming out all over the place. Maybe they'll hit that one tonight. We'll see. Getting back up here to the first run I set. I have another 120. And as pronounced as this run is, I've got the one up there where they're going underneath the grass. I plan on coming back here and putting in another one in case some are out and want to come back into the den. I could potentially have a double, so that's what I think I'm going to do. Set another 120 out here further in this run to see if I can get a double. Try anyway. And not happy with not being able to find where they're going, but these runs are very active going into these reed beds. And some of them are just runs to come up into the reed bed to feed and hide. This one I know was a den, and the one on the end was a den. But where I could feel where there was runs were going, I didn't find any holes, but they were going into these grass beds, and they have feed beds up in there. So I am going to set a second trap on this run. I just got that set put in, second set on the same run, and got it fenced off kind of with them paint sticks. There's a 120 in the ditch. When the water comes back up in here in a little bit, hopefully most all this will be submerged. But this is a tidal thing. When they lock through, they have to flood the place. So usually it's a little deeper. You can tell by the mud recession line. I'm gonna get out of here. It's the last set of the day. Just a bummer on the mink. So we'll see you tomorrow.